Tidal by Rose Keating. Nessa's story was about the sea. It could never have been anything but that. Nessa Murray had more seawater in her veins than she had blood. Pub talk. Whisper. Whispers that taste like melted dark chocolate, bitter and heavy and hot as you gulp them down. Cloying. Mary O'Neill walking through the part of the forest that you weren't meant to go to. It was theirs. Don't ask why, Nessa. Mary with berry juice on her lips and scrabbling fingers, defying. We all love the Apple Eden challenge. Mary's stomach growing and stretching to a baby boy. Blonde and bubbling and pink and smiling. A beautiful plump pile of goo and giggle. He went missing at 3 months, right from the cot. Mary taken away in a Garda car. These things happen, etc., etc. Talk of postpartum depression and stress, and Mary, please just tell us where you buried it. Mary looking them all in the eye and laughing. She said they left berries in the cot. Take a baby, leave a berry. Slit her wrists 1 week later. She was clutching blackcurrants in her fist. Just one story of many. In the village, stories were second nature. Spending your life learning the ways that words can burn as you let them leak from your tongue. Letters fused with your blood stream and warnings carved behind your teeth. Symbol and cycle and lesson. Superstition, part of genetic coding, oral dream chain. Once upon a time. They were real. They were not real. They did not know the difference. There was no difference. It did not matter. Nessa liked the stories about the sea the most. Selkie, mare, seals, monster slick slide swimming in between your toes, seaweed, tongue, lick. Deep and wet and slippery. Shameful. Skin and scales and fucking. Mammy's never saying that word, but you can see it in the blush and averted eyes. The shame was thrilling, dirty water covering the bad things. They hid, you see. Those water things, they wear sea skin, scales, and blubber, hiding slick, tight human muscle. They told Nessa that if you hide the pelt, you can make them stay. Handsome boys and busty girls, all hiding oceans beneath their eyes. Seal costume. Absurd. You hide the skin and you kiss the boy and you get to keep him. Forever or for a while. It's usually a while. Songs of sadness. These are stories of warning. You probably shouldn't. Nessa loves shouldn'ts. Give your tears to the ocean and it might just give you a hand. Nessa, on the beach. Beaches should be summertime places. Ice cream leaks, sticky hand-holding in sand and ham sandwiches, sun haze all smoky and distant, skin on back begins to burn, pain hot, sweet, tender, lips tasting like sea water and sugar, vanilla and brine on your tongue. The leap and splash, water ice and knives and electric shock on the raw thigh, falling drenched, choking on laughter and sea salt. Nessa was on the beach in November. We don't speak enough about beaches in winter. They're a stranger sort of space. It was a fishing village. They get to see the water through all its different phases, not just blue ripple, sun, honey, drizzle. They see the shadow days and boats torn and water-choked lungs and the smell of rotting seagull skull smashed across the sand, all the darker shades of blue. Walking along the beach, and she's looking at the sky. She's looking at the sea. They're glaring back at her, furious and solemn and heavy. Someone's boot pressing down against your chest. Harder. Your lungs squeezing and begging. That's what the sky and sea were that day. They were so very, very angry. Like watching lava boil under miles of snow. The way eyes go dead before a hand strikes up to slap. Waiting and glassy and tense. The sea watching her with those dead eyes. The way the sea looks at her makes her sad. Nessa walks along the froth, and she begins to cry. Tears roll down skin, 7 tears, plip-plop falling into the water. She hopes it makes the water less mad. That was the day she met him, a boy with light hair, sitting on the rocks. She looks up and sees him only a few feet away. Nessa almost halts in shock. She hadn't known that boys could be pretty, not in the way that girls were pretty that makes you stop and stare. But there he was. Except for the eyes. His eyes were very, very ugly. Surreal, colorless. They were cold. They hurt to look at. He isn't wearing clothes. His skin is wet, oil slick. Nessa doesn't know where to look. She decides not to look at all. He looks at her with those ugly eyes, and he smiles and says hello. She coughs out a hello back, all knuckle cracking and fists shoved into pockets. Gruff little frizzy creature. Little barbarian doesn't know her own tongue. It wrestles with the nerve endings in her brain, words fuddled and fumbling and falling over each other. His smile turns to teeth and wink and chuckles, a creature who has no problem with the use of his tongue. This makes her angry, so she catches her tongue and puts it right. She questions him, shackles up and tongue spitting fire. Where's he from? What's he doing here? What's his name? What's he think he's smiling at? He gives short answers. They should be simple. They aren't. He's from away. He's here because of Nessa. He's smiling at Nessa. His smile grows even wider. He never tells her his name. Nessa's tongue halts up again because he is not following the correct lines of the script at this point in time. And he's looking at her. He's looking right at her. His eyes on hers. Ugly eyes. Those eyes at the back of her throat, gulping them down, and they're setting her stomach on fire. It hurts. Deer in headlights. Her seagull brain about to splatter all across the sand. She's waiting for the boom. Then she realizes Nessa knows the story. She knows what this is. Skin and scales. She knows. The waves have frozen. All waiting. The ocean is afraid to move. He smiles. The waves break for him. They crash, and she crashes with them. Nessa cracks. She smiles back. The world rips in half. And then he's on her. This is the most important part. They'll tell you it's not. They'll tell you it's paltry and common and vulgar. Holes and biology and grunting. How dull. They don't tell you about the smell. That Nessa Murray could smell his body, his lungs and his blood and his nerve endings. Sweat and slick and moans and stinking of fever flesh slap. No one smells the same. No one tastes the same. No one could ever feel the same. That's usually a lie, but this time it was true. For Nessa, at least. This boy smelt like there was seawater in his veins, too. The human part scrape raw. He's hurting her legs spread. It's ripping. Nessa is ripping, the earth is ripping, and he's filling the void. Black hole leaking into her mouth, bottom of the sea, 1,000-year-old void filling her insides. This beautiful creature. The ocean has given her a hand. She would get to keep him. He leaves, after, smiles as he walks away. Nessa doesn't mind. He's hers now. He would stay. She knows the secret. She had seen. Ocean behind his eyes. She wonders where he keeps his blubber. She walks home and showers. There are bruises on her neck and all of him leaking down her thighs. Disgusting. Shameful. The blush in her mother's eyes when she skips these parts of the stories. Nessa smiling so wide that her face will rip apart. Triumphant. She knows all the parts of the story now. She sleeps. She wakes up and her head is full of mist. Veins stuffed to the brim with clouds. Him and him and him. Thoughts of him, cotton soft. She's hardly here. They're both torn between places. It makes sense. She's above dirt warmth now. Ethereal. No need for heat and pub and word warnings carved into her every night. She is other with him. They are the story now. She leaves and she drifts. Pavement, path, fish, the smell of fish and milky sun. Third cousin twice removed passing her on the street. Dog shit. On her shoes. It didn't matter. Ugly, ordinary. This was the ugly ordinary. She was far away from it now. Diamond shard glitter piercing through her wrists. She didn't need them to see. She knew. She's walking past the park when she sees him. Him. But different. He's wearing clothes. A hoodie, jeans. He's talking to two of the pretty girls in Nessa's year. They're blonde and pretty like him. Giggle, giggle, butterfly, bubblegum creatures. Where's he from? What's his name? What's his cologne? He smells so good. Except this time the script makes sense. Sean. His name is Sean. Sean from the city. He's a Dublin boy. Economics in Trinity. His father works in a bank. Oh, this? It's all natural, girls. A wink. What a rogue. What a charmer. Nessa wants to slash his throat. It's fake. This is fake. This is script, and what he's doing is not real. It doesn't make sense. Liar, liar, fucking faker. Nessa knows. She knows the truth. She'll rip it from his fucking lips. He's leaving tomorrow, he says to the girls. Exams start soon. Just here for the weekend with the lads. Cans, girls, and skinny dipping. You know how it is, ladies. Ha. Ha ha ha. Oh, Sean, you're just so funny. Pawing at him. They all wander into the pub together. High-pitched giggle guffaws trailing into the air behind them. Nessa waits. This lie? She knows how to fix it. She knows how she can make him stay. Because Nessa knows this story. He stumbles out hours later, Nessa waiting. Patient little thing. Frizzy little thing. Barbarian, ready to drag the letters into their correct place. She never liked liars. She walks toward him. He sees her glint of recognition. Of course he remembers. That smile. Once again, that smile. It doesn't take much convincing to get him down to the beach. A touch and a stroke and the flick of a tongue against her tooth. Whispers on ear. Bad things. Seaweed, slick, dark water, shameful, mother-blushing things. He comes willingly. Night on the beach. Breathing in star drops. He kisses her, taking off clothes, moon plip-plop dropping onto skin, across the waves, all over her stomach. Splish, splash, acid singe of waves, tidal brightness, slippery and hungry. He is hungry, glinting in the dark. Waves furious and dark and hurling their way onto the cliff cracks. All so lovely, him so very lovely. But it is a lie. Nessa needs to set the story right. Nessa reaches behind her, cracks in the sky and watery black gold in her blood. Metal. She is metal, liquid, strong. The sea at night, the absolute outrage of the waves. She picks up the rock and slams it against his skull. He never even saw her pick it up. In the stories, Selkies come. Pretty things. They hide in their seal clothes and take them off to come ashore. If you hide their seal skin, they can't go away. They stay until they find it. Nessa Murray takes out the knife and cuts into his skin and begins to tear it away. She'll bury it in the sand when she's done. Nessa knows the story. She knows how to make him stay. She can make him stay. Forever. Or for a while. Rose Keating is a columnist for the Waterford News and Star. She is the winner of the Hot Press Right Here, Right Now Award 2015 and 2016, and a Sean Dunn Young Writers Award 2014. She has been published in Not One of Us magazine and has a story in the next issue of The Incubator. She is attending UCC on a Quercus Creative Writing Scholarship, where she is studying for an undergraduate degree in English literature. The music in this story is by Sealand. You can find more of their work, including their album Dark Days, at sealand.bandcamp.com.